Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well, thank you for joining me again. One of the horrible things when you look at how they work out what everyone's going to get and the laws you have to follow and the way the country's going to be run, everybody seems to be treated like a figure on a piece of paper, a statistic, a non-entity that doesn't have feelings, thoughts, family or any other issues. And that's how it all seems to go. It really is, well, destructive to some. And I've been following this story for a few days, and it's all to do with the welfare bill and the cuts to it. And I have a particular friend of mine who's very distraught over all this, who's been sitting on the waiting list to have his PIP reviewed. And it's been months and months and months. It really has been tragic. There are a lot of people out there who are literally, there's the breadline and then there's below the breadline, and I would consider my friend to be in that category, who could not afford to make ends meet even when they're on benefits and all the rest of this stuff like that. And Liz Kendall did a speech today where they were talking about shaving 5 billion quid by 2030 off of the welfare bill, costing a great number of people a great amount of money who are going to need the support and the help. Talking about making PIP assessments harder, personal independence payment assessments. Now, my friend who I mentioned, I remember years ago, and he'll have to clarify for me what benefit this was for. I can't remember whether it was the old DLA or PIP now, but I remember him having to go to an assessment in a particular place, and one of the questions he was asked was regarding a cardboard box. Could he pick this cardboard box up off of the floor? Oh yeah, no problem, he said, because physically he was capable of doing that at the time. And because of that very simple answer to that very simple question, you're not getting your payment. And it was appealed. It was more months of torture for him, and of course eventually he did get the payment that he needed. Just to clarify, my friend has worked very hard pretty much all of his adult life, and when I first met him, when I first come back to my home area at the age of about 21, probably worked harder than I ever did. And as life goes on, you get things that happen. You get things that fail in your health, and eventually you can't do the things you used to do, and it's frustrating and you have to stop. Those are the kind of people that put into society need a little bit of help back again. Of course, you get all the shirkers, you get everything else, and you get statistics like this. You get people coming into this country every year by the thousands who end up being a drain on the system, who don't work, don't have an intention of working, and they claim benefits. And then you get actual, true, in this case English people who have lived here for years, paid into the system, and they're having their lives ripped apart. Do you know one of the things they do with personal independence payment reviews, when they do this sort of thing, when they make a change to the system, they'll make everybody appeal. They'll make everybody do it all again. And what they'll do, they'll reject everybody out of hand. They'll say, no, you're not having it. Well, let me tell you something about the effect that has on somebody. When you can't do the things that you used to be able to do, you end up getting very frustrated with yourself, frustrated with the situation you find yourself in. And if it's not changeable, you end up getting depressed. You end up getting very anxious. And then if you don't change it, then your situation gets worse. And one of the circumstances that can happen when you're depressed, you will not take positive action to improve your situation. What's the point? It's not going to work. And all of these people will fall by the wayside. Actual English people, actual individuals in this country that need the help, it is going to cost lives, and it's not fair. Now, I'm all for going out and doing a hard day's graft, and a lot of people will go through their whole working life relatively unimpeded. And, you know, they'll get to the end, they can retire and live happily ever after. But there's many, many, many thousands of people in this country who are not so lucky. Life deals them a cruel blow and they need the help. They don't need the cuts. You know, with mental health concerns, some of them can be very debilitating. I've done a video on my own struggles with alcohol, which I've had over a great number of years, and I'll leave a link in the description so you can hear my story. And you know, that causes mental health issues. There's depression, there's all sorts of things. And you know what they're saying now? Oh, you're fit for work. Go on, off you go. Certain disabilities which affect your mobility and your ability to function efficiently. Oh, you're fit for work, off you go. It's all this sort of stuff that's rearing its head again. Now, the Labour Party of old, who looked after the working man, woman, looked after people who were having problems, could you have dreamt of any of this before? At the end of the day, I've said in a few videos now, you couldn't stick a fag paper between the two. It really is a disgrace. And why is 5 billion quid getting cut off the welfare bill by 2030? What are they going to spend it on? Who are they going to give it to? Who's going to suffer as a result? It's all misappropriation. It's wrong. And all of these people are going to suffer. Are you one of them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll have a read and try and heart as many as I can. Once upon a time, just to finish up, I was in a position probably, well, over 20 years ago now, where I didn't have a high income or a high disposable income when all the bills were paid. I suffered from depression. I had trouble getting my arse out of bed in the morning and all the rest of it, having trouble functioning. And it was very difficult, if not impossible, for a single bloke to get the help that was needed, and I had to rely on family and friends and everything else. Life's okay now. It's not too bad. I'm one of the ones that got myself out of trouble, but many don't, and many are stuck. This government doesn't care. Previous governments don't care. You're just a name, a number, and a statistic on a bit of paper. And it's not them that has to clear up the mess when you're gone. Disgusting. All of them disgust me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have a look at these videos. I look forward to talking to you soon. Toodaloo.